world that I really do this. That I really make quality street music. You know what I'm talking about? And it ain't no mistake that I'm this good.
Witnessed firsthand racism until last year when my black friend Wayne joined the hockey team. The coach has changed his attitude variously around all of us and especially him. He would make him do different things, like if everyone messed up in the drill, he would only make him do all the drills and correct him, and he would leave everyone else to do what they did wrong and only correct him. And on the road trips, they would make him carry bags and all the suitcases for everything, and we didn't have to do our own thing. They just made him do it back and forth up to the rooms, and only him. No one else did anything about it. And during practice last year, he had to pick up all the pucks and bring them to every single game. We're supposed to switch jersey numbers, lowest to highest, and he would always do the pucks every single game, and it just wasn't good. And another example, during practice, he would always make him do push-ups and no one else do push-ups when he messed up. And towards the end of the year, me and 5 other kids met together, and we decided to talk to him and say, this is unacceptable. You're making him do everything and making us not do anything. You're just not doing anything about it. You're only correcting him. And we're we're gonna quit if you're not gonna do anything about it and change your reasons of him. And he said, if you don't like how I'm coaching, then you could leave the team. And 5 of us left the team, and the team just folded. And that's why racism isn't good in sports.
This is our friend Will. He's played baseball his whole life, and he's going to tell us about some racist problems that he's experienced in baseball. So, Will, have you ever experienced any racist actions in sporting events?
Not many actions, legit actions, but more of the comments and what people say on the side, and kind of just the stereotypes that really come out when you're playing a high school sport, summer team, anything like that.
What are some stereotypes?
I mean, when you get your leadoff batter, the small black kid who gets on, and everyone's like, oh, watch the steal. Everyone shifts them in. They're not good hitters. They can only run. And it's something that you're kind of used to by now, but still, it makes you feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, you don't think it's true, right?
No. I mean, you can see players in the MLB. Although there's only 66 of African-American players in the MLB, you can tell that there can be good players. It's not just speed.
How does it make you feel about all these stereotypes about the black kids running fast, the leadoff hitters?
It's more uncomfortable than anything. It doesn't really anger me per se. It just makes you feel awkward knowing that they don't know you're saying it, but they kind of have to accept it because they can't do much about it on the diamond.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. What do you do about it? What do you think you could do about it to fix that? I
mean, I try to ignore it as much as I can. Try not to get involved in it. There's one kid on our team. His name's Brett. We call him Brat. He's just a loser. He's annoying, and
he's the main person with it.
He is. It's just not right. It's especially the way he just makes all the comments on the side and on the field too. It's just not. It's definitely not good.
So you don't think one person would be able to, even if you guys join together and try to fix it, it's in too deep, you think, to fix, right?
I think it's in way too deep to change. I know there's players, and I know there's teams that will sit you, bench you, whatever, cut you from the team if you say something like that, especially now with all the Twitter stuff that's going on. Anything gets said. I mean, I've heard of schools cutting programs. I've heard of crazy stuff going on where kids get kicked out of schools and stuff like that just for saying things that aren't even racist. And then once you bring race into it, it's a whole nother topic, like the Amityville issue with Commswag in the football game. Oh, yeah. And Amityville got sued for $25 million over a racist comment on Twitter. So I think it's in way too deep.
Yeah. And what about, like you said before, how there's only 66 African Americans in MLB? Do you think some stop playing because of the stereotypes? Do you think it's just they playing other sports?
I think it's both. I mean, I know some kids probably get taken away from it. They don't like it. They don't like hearing that black kids aren't good enough and that they can't bring anything to the table. But that's why I feel like those 66 players that are in the MLB have overcome a lot and taken examples from like great players before them, like obviously Jackie Robinson, players like that, that really break through and show that they can be just as good of a ball player as anybody else.
All right. Thank you, Will.
But I got the sense when I'd go to the games that a lot of white fans felt good going to that game because they were among their own. And it was, that part made me uncomfortable. Obviously not everyone. One of my closest friend in the world is a hockey fan, you know, and Michael Schur. So, and Michael's the least racist person in America. I got it. But there's something about a hockey game.
What about me?
What
about me?
and all those, also my son Rick, who I don't think is racist either. But there's something about, you go to a hockey game, you know, and you feel like they're comfortable here. They don't have to deal with that stuff they have to deal with an NBA game or an NFL game. So that made me uncomfortable. And then so there's this undercurrent of racism which has been sort of, which has existed in hockey for a long time. It's changing a little bit. The NHL is trying to change it. There are many more black players than when I was growing up. But we got a little glimpse yesterday after the conclusion of what was a wonderful series, the first series in NHL history that went 7 games where every single game was decided by a goal. 4 of them went to overtime. Clearly a gripping series.
Great series.
Between the Bruins, who I think were the 2 seed or the 1 seed?
One.
They were the 1 seed, the defending champs, and the Caps.
No, they were the 2. They were the 2.
Proving that in the NHL, once you're in the playoffs, it makes no difference. Anybody can win a series, which is, there's obviously some excitement in that. It's a little like the NCAA tournament. So the Caps win Game 7 in Boston. They beat, again, the Bruins, the defending champs. Bruins, one of the towns where hockey's part of the fabric of the city. The Bruin goalie was the best goalie in the league last year, right, Tim Thomas?
Best goalie in the league last year, and arguably a Vezina finalist this year.
And he's also the guy, though, who didn't go to the White House because he didn't want to meet Barack Obama. So anyway, Joel Ward scores on a rebound to win the game 3 minutes into overtime, Game 7 in Boston. Joel Ward's Canadian. His parents are from Barbados. He's black. Great victory for the Caps, who have been one of the best teams in the league for the last 3 years, but have only won 1 playoff series. They always get bounced early. Here they are as a lower seed, but they win. Great moment for the Caps. Overshadowed to some extent right now, hopefully not for long, by these horrible tweets that Joel Ward, who scored the winning goal, gets. What are we going to do? Are we going to show some of these tweets? Because I'm not reading them. I mean, I think it's important that you see some of them because I never like sort of mitigating it, but I mean, it's just, it's as vicious and ugly as tweeting can get. And it's a problem that the NHL has just got to attack the way that the NFL attacks concussions. Like, it's got to be a priority. If you want to get taken seriously as one of the 3 big sports, and you're not, you're 4th. If you want to be in that conversation nationally, obviously it's a big sport, you got it. This can't be part of it. This can't be the reaction that people have after what was clearly a great game and a great series.
It kind of reminds me of Kyle Williams, except Joel Ward succeeded. And it's sort of, I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, but it seems like from seeing all these people that were tweeting last night, it's like they took pride in saying it.
Yeah, they're excited about it. And you were pointing out that some of them look like they're young, and
a lot of them look like they're 13 to 16 kids on X.
Montreal and Boston, double overtime. Subban shoots, he scores! Montreal's PK Subban wins the game. Meanwhile, on Twitter, several racist tweets are posted. Unbelievably, in 2014, racism comes with a hashtag, and the N-word rears its head and gains momentum. By morning, fresh on the heels of NBA owner Donald Sterling's stunningly racist tirade, the Subban story blows up this way. It's reported that 17,000 racist tweets were posted by Boston fans against Subban. While PK Subban didn't speak to the media today, his coach Michel Therrien did.
PK's got our support, and I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked to hear those type of comments. I'm shocked.
The Boston Bruins also react to the tweets.
It's just poor judgment, poor taste. People who think that way are not what we call our fans.
It's just unfortunate that, you know, that stuff like that is still happening, and like I said, I just don't get why anyone would do that.
People feel certain things. Hispanics feel certain things towards blacks. Blacks feel certain things towards other groups. It's been that way historically, and it will always be that way.
But it's not that way in my heart and in my mind.
But maybe you want to adjust to the world.
But why? If the world doesn't do anything for me and they don't make me happy.
You're right. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue.
I can't be racist in my heart.
And that's good. I'm living in a culture, and I have to live within the culture. So that's the way it is. That's how I got it. I got the whole message. You live with your heart.
I don't.
You can't be flexible. You can.
I am flexible. I understand that that's the way you were raised and that's your culture, and I'm respectful and
why do you have to disrespect them? Those are.
Who am I disrespecting?
The world before you.
Why am I disrespecting them?
By walking, you're perceived as either a Latina or a white girl. Why should you be walking publicly with black people? Why? Is there a benefit to you?
Is it a benefit to me? Does it matter if they're white or blue or yellow?
I guess that you don't know that. Maybe you're stupid. Maybe you don't know what people think of you. It does matter, yeah. It matters.
Do you know that I'm mixed?
No, I don't know.
You know that I'm mixed.
You told me you were going to remove those. You said, yes, I understand you. I mean, you change from day to day. Wow. So painful. Wow.
People call you and tell you that I have black people on my Instagram, and it bothers you.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people. You have to?
You associate with black people.
I'm not you and you're not me. You're supposed to be a delicate white or a delicate Latina girl.
I'm a mixed girl.
Okay. Well, but
and you're in love with me. And I'm black and Mexican, whether you like it or not,
okay.
Whether the world accepts it or not. And you're asking me to remove something that's part of me and in my bloodstream because the world thinks different of me and you're afraid of what they're going to think because of your upbringing. You want me to have hate towards black people?
I don't want you to have hate. That's what people do. They turn things around. I want you to love them privately in your whole life. Every day you could be with them. Every single day of your life.
But not in public?
But why publicize it on the Instagram and why bring it to my games?
Why bring the black people to the game?
I really don't want to discuss it anymore. It's over. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
I feel that way so strongly, and it may cause our relationship to just break apart. And if it does, it does. It's better to break apart now than to break apart later.
I'm sorry that you still have people around you that are full of racism and hate in their hearts. I'm sorry that you're still racist in your heart. I'm sorry that you live in a world that's still...
How about your whole life? Every day, you could do whatever you want. You could sleep with them, you could bring them in, you could do whatever you want. The little I ask you is not to promote it on that and not to bring them to my games.
I don't bring anyone to the game.
Okay, then. There's nothing to argue about.
I know.